At this time, I'd like to acknowledge and introduce another great supporter who stepped up in a big way, making this evening possible, our dinner sponsor, UPS. UPS understands that people who have served our country know a lot about hard work and dedication. They understand leadership and accountability. At UPS, they hire an average of 5,000 veterans each year. That is probably why UPS is one of America's most trusted brands when it comes to shipping. At this time, I would like to invite Cindy Miller, President of UPS Global Freight Forwarding, to say a few words. Cindy?
Good evening. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, as was said, my name is Cindy Miller, and I am not an active military person. However, I come from a very strong family of military people. My grandfather, my paternal grandfather, at the tender age of being a very young man, enlisted in the Army, and he was sent overseas to fight for his country in World War I. And while he was over there, he was injured. And upon being injured, he had to convalesce overseas, and that's when the United States Army found out his greatest skill. He was fluent in German. And being fluent in German, they asked him to convalesce with some of the other injured German prisoners. And at that point in time, my grandfather developed some pretty good skills of his own and gathered some pretty good intelligence. As a matter of fact, that intelligence was so good that 30 years later, now a middle-aged man, husband, father of 3 boys, was called upon again to serve in World War II, which he did. And he went overseas, and lo and behold, this time he was driving a Jeep and doing a few other things that needed his German skills, and that Jeep was blown up. He was injured again. And he certainly did another good job convalescing with the other German POWs and got some good information the second time around. Very proud of my paternal grandfather, and my maternal grandfather also fought in that war. I have many great uncles that were engaged in D-Day activities. My father, on the other hand, chose to take a different path. His path was not with the United States Army. He wanted to be a Marine. Hoorah! So my father, may he rest in peace, taught me a lot of things. Once a Marine, always a Marine. He taught me the values of the military. He taught me the love of country. He taught me and my family the love of this flag that I stand in front of. He taught me the value and the appreciation and the respect and the humility that we should have for all of our citizens who are protected by all of you great service members that I am humbled to stand before. But I am also humbled by the company that I work for, UPS. Those 5,000 veterans that we bring home and that we provide employment for, I can tell you it's because we understand the sacrifice, we understand the difficulty, we understand the hurdles it is just in an average citizen trying to make a living for their family, yet alone having experienced what our veterans have had to experience and understand the sacrifices that they have had to make along with their families. And it is with a humble heart and with a tremendous amount of pride, the same amount of pride that I have for my personal family, that I have for the company that I work for. So with that, what I'd like to do is let you know that UPS will continue those programs to make sure that we can make that transition for our veterans so that they can make sure they can be gainfully employed with respectable jobs where they can continue to contribute to society while working at UPS, and for that, I'm also very, very proud. So if you haven't gathered by now, and if you haven't understood this, tonight is such a special night. Tonight is an amazing night. I'm pleased to make sure that I let you know that dinner will be served right now. Let's take the next 30 minutes to enjoy it. The most unenviable place is the one that's right between you and either a beer or a meal. And I might be in between both of them. So with that, what I would like to say in honor of my father, I've got to say, Semper Fi. And in honor of what's about to happen in this country, as you can notice by my pin, let's make America great again. God bless America. Thank you very much.